What you are about to witness is a nightmare.
No glimpse, no false metal.
Insufficient data at the moment, Starchild.
Check 1, syphilis. Check 2, syphilis.
Death by stereo.
They're coming to get you, Parker.
Give me a bottle of anything and glazed donut. Go.
Graves, ghouls, and groupies.
Yeah. Leaving that in, hello everybody. Welcome to Grey Schools and Groupies. I'm Keta.
And I'm Maddie, and we are so very happy to have you here with us today, tonight, whenever you may be listening.
Tomorrow, 5 years from now, from beyond one day.
We can only hope.
Forever,
yes.
Forever indeed. Do we have any business to get out of the way? Any fun things we want to share before we get into today's topic? I know we said last time stickers. We are working on having stickers made.
Stickers, flyers.
Yeah, we want to do like the old school thing of posting flyers up, like stapling them to like poles and, I don't know, trees and taping them in dive bar bathrooms and leaving our stickers everywhere, like maybe on toilet seats so it can get pissed on.
I did think about putting a sticker on the back of my car.
Yes. Ooh, what if we
Right.
got like bumper stickers and like magnets made?
Boom. Bumper stickers.
Yeah, we're going to do that and we'll share it with you guys. And if you want to buy one, then
Let us know.
we'll,
Let
just
us know.
DM us. We'll be posting about it on socials for sure. So keep an eye out. And with that, I have a very fun story for us today.
I'm excited. Just call me Will Smith. Yeah.
Call me Tommy Lee Jones.
That's Tommy Lee Jones. I am Will Smith. Thank you for listening to Grey Schools and Groupies. We are excited. I'm very excited for the topic today.
Yeah, if it's not obvious, we're going to cover a Men in Black case.
Men in Black.
Amazing.
Thank you.
Any
you.
more and we'll get sued. So we were just listening to that. Maddie had to play that to kind of get us hyped up for recording, which I was so down with because, yes,
Pump up music.
hype
Hype
jams.
music. Walkout song, if you will.
Please. Oh my gosh, imagine being like a wrestler, like WWE type shit, and you walk out to the fucking Men in Black song.
You are the Men in Black. I like it.
Wait, I think we're onto something. Write that down.
Write that down. Write that down.
Okay, well, without further ado, today's topic is, in general, I guess, the Men in Black, but specifically, we're going to be talking about the case of Dr. Herbert Hopkins and his experience with a man in black.
A singular man?
Just a singular one, actually.
Shocking.
I know. Like, obviously, normally they come in pairs.
At least that's what we're
Not-
always told.
Stereotypically, and I think the movie has a lot to do with that too, but there
For sure.
definitely are some cases where it's just like
A singular.
one singular man
In black.
in black. Yes, exactly. And this one's really, really interesting. This is said to be like one of the most, I guess, descriptive cases
Okay.
of a man in black sighting.
Give it to us. Give it to us.
But we'll see. So real quick, in the off chance you don't know what the Men in Black are or who they are, the real life versions, not the movie versions, they're the Men in Black, they're described as being tall, oftentimes pale, wearing black suits, and they generally show zero expression. Like we were saying, oftentimes they do come in pairs. Yes, just like in the movie. But sometimes they also show up solo, which is kind of in the case of today's topic. Sometimes they show security cards or like badges, so to speak. This may be to come across as more official or to try to intimidate their target a little bit further. Some believe they may actually be aliens themselves. Others think they're just more of like guardians of the aliens. And typically they show up, they're looking for people who are either like recently researching UFO topics or if they've had like a UFO encounter, they kind of come by and show up to intimidate and almost like threaten and scare the people out of pursuing these topics any further, like sharing their stories.
So that's where the flashbang, lose your memory from the movie comes from, I'm assuming.
Yeah, kind of.
Yeah.
I think that's more of like a movie thing, but like they don't actually do that. But I think it's more of like the intimidation tactic of like, if you continue researching this or if you come out with your experience, like bad things are going to happen to you. And that's kind of like what happens in today's case with, again, Dr. Herbert Hopkins.
Poor Dr. Herbert Hopkins.
I know. Well, we'll see.
Oh.
Maybe not.
Oh,
we'll
no.
get to it.
No.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
Yeah, we'll see.
He at least has a pleasant name.
Herbert Hopkins. I know.
And he's a
it's
doctor? Question mark?
Dr. Professor Herbert Hopkins. Patrick?
He's a doctorate?
He's a doctorate. And
We might learn? We might learn what he's a doctor of? Perhaps?
I think he may be a doctor of alcohol.
Oh, no.
We'll get there.
Got
we'll
it.
see.
Sorry, everyone. I'm getting ahead of myself. I'm so excited.
Just a little bit, mate, but we'll get there.
Okay.
That was such a bad British impersonation. Ignore that.
We're so sorry to all of our British. Hey, we're sad with you too. Okay.
Oh, the World Cup.
We're sad.
We were really cheering on England, but also I have been as everybody else, a huge Erling Haaland fan. Haaland. Da, 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 da. I don't know the words. Ha 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 Haaland. Ah. Okay, anyway. That's been like in my head, almost like circus music, like 24/7. It's been great. But yeah, I really wanted him to win, but then we were also cheering for England kind of the whole time. We really wanted England to win for Jude Bellingham. But sad, really sad. That was kind of a bullshit game if you ask us. There were some really bad calls.
We're pissed off.
In the favor of Argentina, who
Shocking.
we do not support.
That's what he said to the
Yeah,
refs.
honestly, Messi, no good.
And then gave them money. But whatever. Whatever.
Yeah, not a fan. But we're gonna, after this, we're gonna go to a local bar where we've been watching all the games, and we're gonna cheer on Spain because hell yeah,
Anyone but Argentina.
anyone with a brain would cheer on Spain instead. So
Cheers to
I'm
that.
just gonna leave it at
Cheers
that.
to that.
Leave it at that. Okay, back on topic. Oops a daisy. Let's get into it. Again. While the legends of the Men in Black began around the late 40s to early 50s, the story we're going to discuss today may be one of the most detailed and unsettling. It involves a hypnotist, a coin, and a tall, pale figure with red lips dressed in all black. And no, we are not talking about Robert Smith from The Cure.
Damn it!
I know, that's my boy.
Damn it!
I know. But he's basically an alien himself, and I love him so much for it.
Could have sworn. I mean, a tall, pale figure with red lips, dressed
I
in
know.
black? Hello?
That's our Bob.
That's
Our Bobbert Smith.
Really thought that was him. Okay.
If only. But yes, today's case takes place in September of 1976. Like I said, a doctor and a hypnotist by the name of Dr. Herbert Hopkins was involved with studying a 1975 claim of abduction in Maine. Basically, his role was performing hypnotic regression on a patient who claims they were abducted and had memories of a mushroom-headed creature. Weird, I know, right?
What?
Yeah, so they were doing he was putting them under hypnosis and trying to bring back those memories. And from what I was reading, it seems like it was, well, obviously it was a recent case because what takes place, like I said, is today's topic is in 1976 and what happened was in 75, but it was about a 6-month
Okay.
difference. So it happened 6 months ago and he's trying to kind of pull those memories and they're basically doing UFO studies with that information.
Mushroom-headed creature, that's new. I've
I
never
know.
heard.
I've never heard it described as such either, but
No.
I mean, you could maybe see a gray,
Maybe.
I don't know, and because of the way that their heads are shaped, big at the top. I don't know.
Interesting.
It
Okay.
isn't. It's a weird one for sure, but I'm here for it. One night, he's at home alone in his house in Maine, and the phone rings. He answers it, and on the other line is someone claiming to be the vice president of the New Jersey UFO Research Organization. He inquired about interviewing Dr. Hopkins about the UFO project he's been working on. Hopkins agreed, and the second he puts the phone down, he sees a figure walking up to the door.
Mm-mm.
Dun dun dun! I know.
Nuh-uh, no. Nope.
Yep.
Nope.
In retelling the event, Dr. Hopkins later says, I saw no car, and even if he did have a car, he could not have possibly gotten to my house that quickly from any phone.
I'm sorry, excuse me. Wait, this is supposed to be the feller on the phone?
Yeah.
The feller on the phone?
Allegedly, it's supposed
He
to
just
be.
showed up to his house?
Yes.
Oh, fuck
Like,
that.
he literally hangs the phone up, puts the phone down, and he's, like, trying to kind of clean up his house and, like, prepare it for a guest, is what I was reading.
Oh, okay.
And, like, the second he puts that phone down, he sees a figure walking up his stairs.
I
to his
see,
front
because
door.
he was inquiring about interviewing him.
Yes.
And
I
then
guess
he hangs
it
up
was
the
like,
phone, and
Yes.
a feller's on his doorstep.
yeah, like, hey, I'm here. Let's kiki. Like,
Oh, that's
yeah,
crazy.
Yeah.
That's actually wild. Okay.
I know. It was like that quick, which confused him as to how quickly his visitor arrived. But without second thought, Dr. Hopkins opens the door. There he finds a man dressed in stereotypical Men in Black fashion, a perfectly tailored suit, a white button-up, gloves, a tie, topped off with a black brimmed hat. But that wasn't the unusual part. The man took off his hat and Dr. Hopkins got a closer look. The man was bald.
Bald.
And as if that wasn't scary enough.
That's terrifying.
I know. Sorry. He wasn't just bald, but he
Not
also,
just bald. I'm sorry.
not just bald, but he also had no eyelashes, no eyebrows, smooth, pasty white skin,
Oh, no.
and it was offset by bright cherry red lips. I know. Again, sounds like Robert Smith, but it is not. It is no goth that we know of.
Wild.
I know.
Okay. Not the pasty white skin.
It almost sounds like he's describing me when I wear red lipstick, which is one of my favorite shades. But yeah, girl's a ginger. I'm pale. Okay, give me a break.
Give us a sec, guys. We'll put a bald cap on Kenna and do this exact thing.
I have photos of me with bald caps.
Perfect.
Because fun fact, if you didn't know, I used to do special effects makeup. Like I took not professionally, but I took a 6-month-long course in it. Instead of going to college, that's what I did. And I know how to make bald caps.
So we're going to make you a bald cap. And we're going to recreate this.
The hard part is fitting it over all my hair.
That would be
I
tough.
have a lot of hair, so yeah, it's a whole rigmarole. But we can do it.
We can do it.
Halloween costumes 2026, perhaps?
Boom.
Got it. Hopkins invites his visitor in, as he did agree to this meeting after all, and they discuss the doctor's teleportation studies, which go hand in hand with the regression that he was working on with that patient.
Interesting.
The man began asking questions, but it was almost as though he already knew everything. He was referencing details such as interview tapes and specific points of research that Dr. Hopkins had yet to bring up in that conversation with him. He also tells the doctor he must destroy anything related to the studies he had been a part of.
Oh.
Then the man pulls out 2 coins from his pocket, and he places one in the hand of the doctor. He instructs him to study the coin. Focus in on it. Hopkins does just that and watches as the coin becomes fuzzy and completely disappears. With a sense of knowing, the strange visitor states, "Neither you nor anyone else on this planet will ever see that coin again."
What?
I know.
What?
I don't exactly understand how, but Dr. Hopkins somehow was composed enough to keep talking to the man for a bit longer about UFO topics. And apparently at one point during the conversation, the man in black accidentally swiped his wearing gloves and he accidentally swiped it across his face. And when he did so, he smeared that red lipstick across the side of his face, basically.
Oh.
And that's when Dr. Hopkins noticed that this guy had no lips.
No. Stop it.
It was just he drew on fake lips with lipstick. Other than that, it was just a small slit where a mouth should be.
Okay, but I want to know what lipstick that man in black is wearing, because that has to be some good lipstick.
And this was the 70s too, so it's also
What lipstick is he wearing?
probably like Mac or
Mac.
some like Ben Nye.
To make it look like lips. Like, this guy was convinced this guy had lips, and now he smears it and there's no lips. Okay.
I mean that, but also men don't really pay attention. And also like the
True.
way that I used to, before I had lip filler, I would like overdraw
True.
my lips. And then you would have like men be like, oh my gosh, like you have such big lips. And it's like very clearly I just like overdrew the shit out of my lip line.
Okay, Men in Black, if you could just drop the lip combo.
Yeah, honestly.
Thank you.
Clearly he was probably using lip liner too.
More than likely.
But it was at this point that the man's speech started slowing down. He carefully got up on his feet as to leave, stating, "My energy is running low. Must go now. Goodbye."
That's me.
I know, he did like an Irish exit, except
That's me. That is my
I guess
exact
he
statement.
announced it.
That is my exact statement.
that's what we're going to start doing at like parties if we're ever like at someone's house.
My energy is running low. Must go now. Goodbye.
But
like,
you maybe have to say it more like an, I don't know. I know this guy's, he may be an alien, who knows, but my energy is running low. Must go now. Goodbye. I was reading it almost as like a cone head or something.
ah.
But then the man walks out the door and down the steps, ending the unusual visit. Dr. Hopkins claims that he watched the stranger climb down the steps one by one. He saw an extraordinary bright bluish light shining down his driveway as this happened.
What?
He assumed that it was just the stranger's car, but then he also admits that he never saw the car itself, and he never heard any engine noise. And that was the end of his visit. Yeah. Right?
Okay.
He just leaves, and I also read that the guy was, like, being extremely cautious when he was walking down the steps. Like, he was taking the steps one by one because he was, like, so depleted of energy that it was, like, he was scared, I guess, he was going to, like, fall or, like, topple over. Like, it was very slowly and graciously almost, like, walking down
Interesting.
those steps. And then he was just gone. He saw the blue light. It was like described as like a bluish white light. And
my thought is maybe the energy, of course, that plays a part in it, but I've heard countless tales, I guess you could say, of people being like, you know, I guess aliens trying to pretend that they're human and they don't know what certain things are. Like they don't know what steps are. They don't know certain, like they don't know what they are. So then they're like confused and like,
or like the way he's talking, it's not like I must go now. He claims that the exact statement was must go now, almost like Yoda,
right?
Like a little bit, but that's how it is. Same thing with, you know, the things you should not be named. Maddie calls them skinny minis, right?
Skinny minis,
skinwalkers. But it's like the same concept of they're almost there, but there's something or like a few things off,
and something's going to give them away.
Yes,
because they don't know what certain, like it's like a doorknob or something. They don't know what that is.
Yeah, so they don't. That you're right. So they'll be like pulling on it,
right?
And
you're like,
they don't understand they're supposed to turn it.
There's something wrong here.
Exactly.
You're not human.
Exactly.
Yes.
And
I
everything.
like this.
I know, me too. Like it's quite interesting. And even if this is just a story, which I'm about to get into, it's very interesting. And there are so many cases stating like anything paranormal. Same thing with like ghosts, demons, aliens. Everything runs off energy. We run off energy, you know? So it's just like it makes sense that, especially if he's like, or even think about like Stranger Things and 11, like she uses her powers a lot. All of a sudden, she's depleted of energy. So say this man in black was actually an alien or just some kind of other paranormal entity. He used his powers to dissolve the coin in the guy's hand, and that just he was donezo. Like,
well, he's also using energy to present himself as human.
Exactly, surely. So yeah.
Okay, I like this. I like this shit.
I know. I love aliens, alien topics, anything paranormal. Let's go. Been my favorite since I was a kid. I used to like go alien hunting and stuff, and weird shit, but I love it.
This gives me a little tingle.
Just a little tingle.
Just a little tingle in me tummy.
Not in the tummy. At least it's not tingling other
No tingling in me nether regions yet. Not yet, at least.
Not yet. Oh, brother. All right, back to topic once
Sorry,
again.
everyone.
We're not. We're not sorry. But anyway, Dr. Hopkins was surely shaken by the visit from the strange man in black. So much so that he did as the visitor instructed. He completely destroyed the evidence from the case he was working on, including the files and the tapes of the hypnotic sessions, and he resigned from any further involvement with the studies.
Damn.
I know. He later stated that he feared what happened to the coin could very well happen to him if he didn't comply. Oh. Which I must add here that after a visit like that, I would probably be too freaked out to even tell this story to anybody, including, like, apparently he did have wife and kids that were, like, just not home that night.
Oh.
So, like, I would be afraid to say anything. I was low-key a little nervous, like, researching this topic at night. I'm like, and then, of course, my dog starts barking, and I'm like, she barks at everything, but I was like, are the men in black going to be knocking on my door? Because
right.
I'm, like,
researching
about it, you know? But anyway, I would be too freaked out to even be like, hey, this thing happened to me, and, like, come out in public with it, because what if the guy shows up? What if he actually does make me disappear? What if he makes, like, his wife and kids disappear? Like,
right.
The people just crazy.
Now, just a quick question. You may know, you may not, but did he ever describe the coin? Or am I getting ahead of myself?
No, everything I read, it was just saying it was a coin, so I assume it's, like, a typical, like, penny or nickel or something like that.
Interesting. Okay.
Nothing I read was like, oh yeah, it's a rare. It was 2 coins that he had, and he only gave the doctor 1 coin.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. He only gave him 1, and he was like, study it, focus in on it, kind of ignore your surroundings. And he just said it got fuzzy, and it eventually disappeared. Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
Yep. Not to be seen by anyone on this earthly realm ever again.
Interesting.
Scary. But while the story of Dr. Herbert Hopkins is one of the most detailed encounters we have with the men in black, many people still question the authenticity of it, as there were no other witnesses. Because, like I said, he was home alone. Wife and kids, for some reason, are not there that night. So a lot of people are just saying maybe he made it up for attention. Maybe not. I kind of choose to believe him because, A, I believe in men in black.
Yeah.
And I believe in aliens. I believe in pretty much everything to a degree, you know?
That's why we do this podcast,
That is
ladies
exactly
and gents.
why. So I want to believe him. And one thing I do want to mention is that, you know, today alien topics are pretty common, but back then, like, you could be ostracized.
Yeah.
If you came out about a story of being like, hey, I got abducted by, you know, a UFO, or I saw lights and flying saucers. Like, yes, you always had that group of people that were intrigued by it. And it was, I feel like, gaining popularity. Like, this is right before all of, like, the Alien movies came out. And,
right.
you know, that was about to be a big boom. You had E.T. that'll come out in, like, what, a few years at that point. But, you know, it could still be life-ruining. Like, think of Betty and Barney Hill.
Yep.
Back then, that was like, I want to say the 50s or 60s. Like, their lives were kind of ruined.
Well, you became more so, you know, like I don't know, like almost like an exhibit.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like people would report things on their property, and then all of a sudden you would have media showing up. You'd have, like, randos showing up and being like, Crazy Joe, this guy's fucking crazy.
But that's it. You were labeled as crazy. It wasn't like, oh, I want to hear their story. Like, I'm so intrigued. Like, yes, a little bit that, but it was also like, oh, you're a nut job.
Yeah, you were loony.
Like, you could get fired. Like, all of this kind of stuff. And also, there was no money to it.
No.
Like, you weren't going to write a book or get a movie deal or a television. Like, you weren't going to get, you might end up on the news, but that's just for people to laugh at you. You weren't going to get, like, there's no profit in it. So it's kind of like, what's the point of making up a story just to kind of be looked at and pointed at and laughed at by your community?
I agree to that. There hasn't really been any alien UFO kind of story that was made into a big cinematic money-making machine.
It's all kind of seen as like science fiction.
It's like ghosts.
Just like fiction. Yeah.
Like the ghost stories, like some stories have been picked up and of course they've made a lot of money, but when it comes to alien UFO stuff, like none of this has been picked up. None of this has been made into a big movie, monster movie that made shitload of money. These people have made nothing from this. If anything, they come out and then it's like, oh, Crazy Joe down the road is a psycho.
Exactly.
He's a loon.
Again, like, alien topics were not big back then. I think this was like the year before Close Encounters of the Third Kind came out.
Right.
So it's like, maybe I feel like there was probably a bit of a boom then because it was like in pop culture. But at this moment,
well, I mean, you can go all the way back to Roswell with that, though.
Right? Yeah, exactly.
Like, you really can. Like, those people, it's not like, oh, wow. No, it's, oh, those people are insane. They were crazy. They were loony.
Yeah. And that's when there's even like a group of people, let alone just one person.
Right.
They're just like, no, crazy. Yep. You may be a doctor, but that's the other thing is like he was a doctor. Like, you would think he would lose credibility.
Right.
Coming out with this. So I will give him that. And like I said, back then, it's just not, today it's different. It wasn't the same. It's totally different. And that's where I'm going to bring in some statistics, if you will. According to a CBS poll, today, around 63% of Americans believe in extraterrestrials.
I can see it.
But then, according to Reuters, that number is closer to 20% on a global scale. So it's like, even today, it's still, a lot of people are going to look at you and be like, you're crazy. If you're like, oh, aliens, I saw an alien. I saw a man in black came up to me.
Right.
You're more likely to be believed in America, it seems. And I would attribute that to like our U.S. government. They're kind of coming out and admitting that aliens are real. But back then it was a lot more taboo. And, not that we necessarily trust the government at all.
Right.
But I do think that I think we've had contact with them, and there's a lot that they know that I think they're dropping hints, but I don't think they're ever going to really spill anything because it's too top secret.
That's fair. That's true. I don't know. I feel silly. I don't know how you can't think that there are other things out there, I guess. I've always thought that was crazy. How in the world do you think humans are the only thing in this entire vast universe? How?
I know.
Also, if you look at humans, there are different races. I think the same thing for aliens. Like,
Absolutely.
there are different alien races. There are different, they come from different planets. I just think it's crazy to think, we're the only thing
here. Like, this was all made just for us. Like,
we're the
that
only
is
thing.
So
it's just us.
Self-centered to believe. I know. It's crazy. Like, there has to be life on Mars.
Give me a Looney Tune award because I am top Looney Tune, I guess.
Oh, yeah. We're woo-woo. To me, it just makes sense. And I think science is slowly, proving that. And then the more we see, like, photos of things, it's just, I think eventually we're going to know the truth. But
and I'm sorry, it just can't be, right? There's not this many people on Earth who have experienced shit, who have seen shit, and it's just not real.
Right.
Like,
No,
I'm sorry. It's not just like a handful of people. There have been countless people being abducted, seeing UFOs, having experiences, and you're just going to be like, no, not real. I mean,
they even have like cave drawings of what looks like could be alien. Like, you never know. I think they've always been here, and I don't know. I do think I am one of those crazy people who are like, oh, aliens probably walk among us, but I think they do.
Yeah.
So,
well, and now we have TikTok. We got to think about that too. Like, we have TikTok, but also I think we've reached a state in this world where I see so many people like, oh, please tell me they're aliens. Come save us. Yeah. Like, at this point, I think I think more people than not are just like, please let them be real.
Yeah. Like I said,
come intervene, come do something. Help.
Especially, again, in America, we're all like, help. Because, like I said,
SOS.
63% of us in America, at least,
I can see it.
They're like, oh yeah, aliens are real.
Yep.
I would be curious to see in like other countries. Like, I know they definitely are a thing.
For sure.
But I don't hear too many like stories out of like Japan.
Right.
Like famous UFO encounters in like Japan or Italy or like somewhere in Africa. Like, I'd be really curious. That's one thing we're going to look into. I want to look into that for sure.
We're going to have to. We're in the American bubble.
Unfortunately.
I mean, we are, you know?
Unfortunately.
You're not going to really hear about much outside of the U.S. and us.
Yep. So, all of that to say is that basically, as a whole, to summarize what we just talked about, is anyone who came out about their extraterrestrial encounters were often shunned.
Yep.
Like we said, they were being labeled as crazy or attention-seeking. And again, it's not like he would necessarily make profit through sharing his story. If anything, he'd be putting himself in danger because he was straight up threatened. He came out and said, I was worried that I was going to be dissolved too.
Right.
So with that, it kind of ended his involvement with any paranormal studies at all because he was so scared.
Wow.
But then, now is the time that I get to play devil's advocate.
Oh, lovely.
Kind of like what Maddie did with the Paul is Dead series about how she kind of told us all this fun stuff and then it kind of all came crumbling down because, you know, maybe Paul was actually still alive and this could all be a conspiracy.
That fall is Paul.
Paul
Unfortunately.
is Paul, and I may have to break it to everybody that this may not be a true story.
What?
And I say that because in my research, I came across a snippet from a blog that like reposted a blog that was eventually deleted in October of 2015.
Okay.
But it's from a guy named Howard Hopkins, and he claims to be the nephew of Dr. Herbert Hopkins. And what he said on his blog post basically debunks the entire story. He said, here's like a snippet that I found on, like I said, this blog that posted the deleted blog. It says, my uncle was, unfortunately, a fantasy-prone individual. He craved to be the center of attention and limelight, and on a base level, he sometimes just made things up, no matter how hyperbolic, to top everybody else. He also claims that his uncle was an alcoholic for much of the 70s and 80s, and he spent many nights alone and drinking. But like I said, that blog was deleted in 2015, and there's no way to really prove that this guy was actually Howard Hopkins or if he was even of any relation to the doctor. So we don't know for sure, and since it was deleted, there's a little bit less of an ability to fact check, I guess you can say. But I do feel like I had to mention it, is that he basically came out and he was like, not true.
Okay.
And his uncle was known to be a liar and make things up, and maybe the drinking had a little something to do with it, perhaps. So, had to throw that out there. But regardless, Dr. Hopkins is by far the only person claiming to be visited by the Men in Black. And even our favorite Ghostbuster, Dan Aykroyd, he's claimed to be visited by them, which I thought this was really, really cool. I've heard about this story before, and I just wanted to give a quick little overview. Because, like, I choose to believe Dan Aykroyd. Always. But in 2002, he was in New York City working on a show called Out There. And it was basically covering UFO-related topics.
Okay.
It said that he took a break from the interviews he was doing and he stepped outside. Once he did, a black Ford sedan pulled up, which I do think is interesting because here in America, pretty much any time there's a government-issued vehicle, it's a American-made car brand. So it's either like a Chevy or a Ford.
Right.
And this was a Ford. And then, so the car pulls up, a man steps out, and he kind of makes eye contact with Dan Aykroyd. He gives him a look, and I guess at that point, Dan Aykroyd kind of like looks away, and by the time he looks back, the man is gone. Shortly after, he got a call saying the show was canceled.
What?
Mm-hmm.
What?
Yeah. So, I think that's too much of a coincidence to perhaps be a coincidence.
What the fuck, Tommy Lee Jones?
And Will Smith?
What the fuck? You guys suck.
Why'd you have to roll up and ruin old Danny Boy's show?
Really?
Killed the vibe.
That is, honestly though, really, all jokes aside, that's wild.
Yeah.
That is really wild.
Yeah.
But it's just countless people.
That's the thing,
Countless
is like this
people.
is barely scratching the surface. There are so many, and if you guys are listening, then I'm sure you know at least a handful of like the most famous ones. Like you brought up Roswell.
Yeah.
The Phoenix Lights.
Countless.
Like the Bermuda Triangle.
Yep.
What's the one in like Massachusetts? They have like their form of a Bermuda Triangle, and it all has ties to the paranormal. So I know this is like kind of a Men in Black episode, but it's all related. Part of me thinks that the Men in Black are aliens themselves, just because of how weird they typically are presented to be, like almost like the 3 children in a trench coat type of thing.
Right.
But they're aliens.
I think that's what I'm struggling with. Like, I don't know if I believe that they're human or if they're actually aliens. I don't know.
I don't know either.
I don't know.
I do tend to, like, no one knows for sure, but I tend to think that they are probably aliens, just because every single time there's something a little bit off.
Yeah.
And like we said, this could just be a bullshit story. But
Could be. But it could not be.
I know.
I'd pick up drinking if this happened to me.
That's true.
Sorry. I would.
I mean, that's the thing. And
This
like,
is life altering. If something like this happens to you, this is life altering.
oh, for sure. But it's also like, this man was a doctor and he was a hypnotist. And, you know, some people don't believe in that kind of stuff, but I do. So I believe like you can be put under hypnosis for like past life regression and just, you know, rehashing past memories. That your brain is a crazy place. That
Right.
it's like a machine, and it can store away things and it can bring them back up. Like, I'm sure we've all like gotten hit with like a random childhood memory when we're just like going about our lives, and
Yep.
it's like, oh, haven't thought of this in like 20 years. So
Right.
I mean, even just the way that like he was like studying brains so much, that could have been like intimidating to,
Yeah.
you know, these, so to speak, Men in Black. Like, I definitely think that aliens, quote unquote, whatever you want to call them, extraterrestrials, other life forms, they're just as curious about us as we are about them. And that may be a little bit naive, because I'm sure that whatever technologies they have far surpasses ours.
Right.
But I think they are curious about us, and I think they are even like experimenting on us. So I don't know. I even saw something weird. I know I told Maddie about this, but I'll tell you guys. It was like probably 3 weeks ago. One of my friends, he just moved back from Utah, and where he's staying right now is kind of in the middle of nowhere. Shout out to Forrest, because he saw this with me. But he's staying like in the middle of nowhere at his parents' house. And we were like hanging out. They have a pool there. It's a really big, nice house. And they have a pool there. And so we were like hanging out in the pool. And I think we both had like one drink, but that was it. It's not like we were drunk or any other substances we were not partaking in that night.
Right.
And so we like dried off. We did like a little drive because we were kind of exploring the area. There were some really cool old cemeteries. So we were just doing like a nighttime drive through there. Came back and we were kind of just standing out in the driveway. There's like no light pollution. Like I said, it's the middle of nowhere.
Mm-hmm.
And we're just like looking up at the stars, and all of a sudden we're like, oh, that one's moving. Because it was one that was like a little bit bigger. And I always try to find Venus, because Venus is like the brightest star in the sky. So I was trying to find Venus, couldn't find it. And I was like, wait, we were like, oh, that one's moving. And so we were like, oh, that's probably a satellite though. Because it's like moving in a straight line.
Mm-hmm.
And so we like looked up the satellite map, Starlink, whatever. And I was like, yeah, that's definitely a satellite. But then like his brother calls him and he's on the phone, and I'm just kind of like staring up in the sky, like blah da 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 da. And there's another one moving. And I sent Maddie a video of this now that I remember. I sent her a video and I was like, I promise I'm not drunk. And you couldn't even tell in the video.
You couldn't.
But swear to God, and Forrest saw it too, we were looking and it was like this light. It seemed a little bit closer than the other ones. I will say that. But it still wasn't close. But it did feel like eventually it was like getting closer on us. I don't know. But it was moving. It was like hovering. Mm-hmm. And then it would like dip down. And then it would try to like stay in the place almost as though it was like catching itself, like catching its balance or something like that. And it would like dip down. And it would just kind of be like hovering and like doing circles, so to speak. Mm-hmm. It was not moving in a straight line. It definitely was not a satellite. and I don't know what it is. And I tried to, like I said, I tried to video it. I was sending it to Maddie. I was like, holy shit, dude. No idea. And then we kind of like freaked ourselves out because I still have to drive home, which is like an hour away. And I was like, oh my God. Now I'm scared. Like, it was a whole thing. But like, I've definitely like seen some weird shit that I would potentially attribute to the paranormal.
No Men in Black yet?
I'm not going to answer that because I do not want to summon them. I do not want to manifest them. No, thank you.
No Men in Black yet.
No Men in Black. And my other biggest fear, like black-eyed children.
Right.
That's also what I'm terrified of. And I will not ever be covering the topic of black-eyed children because I already know I would be so terrified and petrified, because that's another one where it's like the more you talk about it,
yeah,
it can kind of like summon them almost. And like, I even don't like talking about it right now, but yeah.
I've never heard that with the Men in Black, though.
No,
at least I never have.
No, it's more of like if you have
an
a
experience.
Story or an experience,
right?
Like within recent times, they come knocking. But I also, it's kind of that in the sense of like, oh, if you go talking about it to people,
right, they're gonna start. Oh well,
oops a daisy.
We'll update you guys if anything happens.
If I just suddenly, if Kenna just suddenly disappears, it's because Will Smith and Tommy Lee Jones got me. Yes. Which, honestly, if it were those two in particular, I would be okay with it. Any other Men in Black, no thank you. But if you are Will Smith or Tommy Lee Jones listening, not Tommy Lee from Motley Crue, because
Tommy Lee Jones.
Tommy Lee Jones. Tommy Lee, emphasis on the Jones.
Yeah.
And Will Smith, if you guys want to show up to my front door, you are more than welcome.
Very interesting topic, buddy. I gotta say.
I know.
I have never heard this before. And
like this specific case?
Yeah. I'd never heard about old Dr. Herbert Hopkins.
I know. Herb.
I want to believe him. I really do.
I really do too. And
I want to believe him. Because this is my issue, right? Mm-hmm. This kind of stuff. Like, I love all things paranormal. Ghosts are fun. Cryptids are fun. Aliens are probably my favorite. And I think they're my favorite because, to me, again, you would be silly not to think there are other things out there other than humans. So to me, aliens are the most believable for me. So like, I'm like, oh, I believe this 110%.
Right.
I don't give a fuck what old Howard Hopkins had to say. Fuck that guy.
We don't listen to Howie. We go for Herb.
We don't even know if that was Howard. Who the fuck is Howard?
I know, for real.
Get out of here.
Bye, Howard. You're
seriously,
canceled.
Like, I'm sorry. I want to believe him. And then it's like, oh, he was an alcoholic. Baby, I would be too.
But see, here's my other thing with that is like, that's what you would say.
Right.
Back then, if somebody...
He's crazy, he wants attention.
Yes. If somebody were, you know, and who knows, baby Howard got threatened. Like, by the Men in Black. And so he was like, oh, nope. Like, maybe his family got threatened, he himself, and he's like, nope. Like, what my uncle said, that was bullshit. He had to come out publicly and be like, he was an alcoholic, he was this, he was that, pointing fingers, making up. Who knows?
Right.
I'm not saying I believe Howard. I tend to believe Herbert more.
I want
to believe Team Herbert, honestly. But I, like you were saying that like aliens are just so believable. I honestly think that about anything, because like I said earlier, it's kind of like that whole energy, like can't be created, can't be destroyed, but it can take on different shapes, different forms.
Right. Well, now we're even at this point. You talked about it earlier. The government of the United States has now come out and said, hey, guys, by the way, it's real. You guys have lied to us for years and years and years in that case. So, like, you know what I mean? It's like, how do we not believe it at this point? We always, at least a lot of us, I know, again, aren't small-minded, no offense, and are sitting here thinking there has got to be more. There has got to be other things out there. And now we're being told officially that, oh yeah, it's real. These things are real. Aliens are real. Mm-hmm. Hello?
Yeah.
They've lied to us this whole time.
And I think they're using it as not to be political, but to be political. They're using it as a distraction.
Right.
For everything that's going on, like Epstein file, all of that.
For sure.
all of the bullshit that's going on. They're like, oh, by the way, like, let me throw you a bone. Aliens are real.
Which
Gotcha.
we already knew. It's like we already knew. Or at least a lot of people already knew.
Oh, yeah, for sure. And then you have, like, the Miami Mall incident, which is kind of
Baby,
coming
we
back
gotta
into
cover that.
headlines. We too.
We got to cover that.
See, that's one where I'm like, I thought about covering that, but I was like, are the real Men in Black going to come after us?
Right.
Do I just cover it anyway? I mean, I say that. We are not a big podcast whatsoever. We have, like...
They said beep boop, beep boop, beep beep, beep boop.
I know.
Kenna and Maddie are talking about Miami Mall.
Their alien senses are tingling.
That was their alien
That
senses.
gave me the heebie-jeebies.
Good.
But in a good way.
But yeah, I don't know. This was very interesting. I love that you covered this. Again, this was something I'd never heard of. And I'm sorry, I believe Dr. Herbert Hopkins, because fuck Howard Hopkins, if that was even him. And I believe your uncle, buddy.
We choose to believe.
I just do.
Herbie.
Yeah, anything alien,
Herbie Hancock.
I'm going to believe it. I am. Guilty as charged. I'm always going to believe it.
Put me in cuffs. Put me in cuffs, officer. Because we believe.
Guilty as charged.
We're guilty. Anyway, that was the case of Dr. Herbert Hopkins and the Men in Black. And let us know what you guys think.
Please. We want to know.
Seriously, we want to hear your reactions. Let us know what you thought about the Paul is dead topic.
Don't be shy.
I know.
We don't bite.
Well, in certain scenarios we do, but
We don't
anyway,
bite in these scenarios. We will not bite, please.
But no, we do want to hear like your thoughts, like Maddie's insanely monstrous episode of Paul is dead ?
Yeah, please, guys.
Like-
that was a fucking lot. That was a lot, man.
And we've gotten some good feedback from it. We've gotten friends who are huge Beatles fans being like, "Yo, I just learned something," and
Man, let me tell you, what an honor.
I know.
What an honor.
Absolutely insane. I saw that text and I was like, go Maddie.
An
Like,
honor. But yeah, we would love
insane.
to hear from you guys.
And let us know if you have any alien stories.
Please.
Because we still need people to write in because we're going to do a listener stories type of deal that we want to record soon. And we have some stories, yes, but we want more. Send us your stories, please.
Please. We're
Nanu,
desperate
nanu.
at this point. What do you want us to do for you guys to send in stories? What do you want?
Live long and prosper.
Do you want money? Do you want toe pics? Whatever you may want.
Nobody wants a picture of my big toe. I can guarantee that.
I
But
was going to say, Kenna has a cord.
no, I don't anymore. We have very normal feet. Mine are just very pale. And
Kenna has very normal feet. I do not. My feet are grotesque, broken. Yeah. I cannot imagine what they're going
mine
to
are
look like
just
in
small.
20 years.
Oh, God. I don't want to know what mine look like either then. I don't want to look like what I know in 20 years, but, you know, I get my Botox.
There we go.
I get my filler.
So you guys, come on, please send us in your stories. Let us read them.
Yes, we want to like kick back, relax, read some spooky, scary stories to
Yes.
you guys. We want to read them from you guys. We want to be one with you.
And I know y'all, I don't know. I know people do this, you know? There are TikToks dedicated to this. Get ready with me while I tell you a spooky story. And then y'all have sent in stories. So come on. Please.
True.
Right? Like there are literal TikToks dedicated to this.
If you can do it for the Valley Girls, you can do it for us.
Please.
If you want us to start talking like that, we totally could.
I can read your story just like that.
Just send us your stories and gag me with a spoon.
Please.
Please.
Our
And
vocal
thank you.
fry will be out of control.
I feel like I had a little bit of vocal fry because my allergies were so bad.
But it's not like this.
It's not like that. No. It's just the natural allergies, and I also own 4 animals and work with dogs, so I couldn't like breathe. I got Mexican food last night, had a margarita, and by the time I got back and just my day, I was like, oh my God, I can't breathe. My eyes are watering. I'm itchy. Like, so yeah, I was worried my vocals were going to be even more not good and not easy on the ears.
Let us know that too.
Yeah.
How are our vocals?
Yeah, if you don't like my voice,
Do
you
you
can
like
tell
us?
me.
In the sound of your ears. Do you like it or not? Tell us.
I will tell you. Okay, we gotta go.
We do
We're
have
about
to go.
like lose our all of our listeners, and also we have to go watch the World Cup. So
Go Spain.
go Spain, and we love you guys.
We do. We love you. Let us know what you think, please.
Yes.
Send in your stories. And
Please.
with that, we're fucking outie.
Maddie and Kenna out, yo.
Edited by Tyler Warren. Theme music by Ace Von Johnson. Artwork and logo by Kayla Satan. Produced, researched, and tomfoolery brought to you by Maddie Laster and Kenna Crash.
His father, his father's father, his father's father's father, his father's 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 father.